Over the years, Google has worked towards bringing a mainstream Android device to market with the Pixel lineup. Prior to this, the Nexus devices were geared towards enthusiasts and developers, also at a lower price. With the Pixel lineup, that also has brought a higher cost, and they continue to increase in price over the years. With the low sale numbers of the Pixel 3 series that launched last year, Google is needing to break into the mid-range market. As prices of these Pixel devices continue to increase, users and consumers may not have the money to spend on an $800+ device. They may not like the design of the Pixel 3 XL series with the huge notch, or they may just want to keep their current smartphone. And that's why we are here today, taking a look at the Google Pixel 3a XL, Google's mid-range, lower price point smartphone to bring to market. Here we have the 3a XL. They are also offering a 3a, which is a smaller size smartphone. This will be a quick hands-on to go over some of the features and the design of the 3a XL. We'll go through some of the specs that it offers and the rumored price that this device will start at. First off is the design. This is a all plastic construction, similar in terms of design where we have a matte finish at the bottom and a glossy up at the top. So it does resemble in terms of the aesthetic that Google's going after. It's consistent in that way. So we have a matte finish down here, soft touch that like their other products have been for fingerprint scanner, and then we have our glossy top plastic which runs along the bottom and the sides. This is a 12 megapixel camera and our LED flash to the side, so very similar setup to the previous Pixel devices. Over here on the side we have our volume up and down and our power button in its same location that the devices have been previously. We have a nice vibrant yellow button on this purplish color. I'm not sure the official name of the color schemes, but this is the purplish color compared to, let's say, the white. So it has a similar feel to what the 2XL was, with that very thick coat of paint on the metal. But this is plastic, but it has that same soft touch feel that the 2XL actually had. At the bottom, we have a USB Type-C charging port, and flanking looks like probably a microphone hole, and then also a bottom firing speaker. These are symmetrical, so at least there's that. Over on the left hand side we have our SIM tray. It is non-expandable storage, single SIM. This also does support eSIM, so for Google Fi and carriers in the future, you'll be able to at least utilize eSIM technology. Making a comeback is the 3.5mm headphone jack, which has been missing since the first generation Pixel. Also, we have a microphone up at top. So up front on the 3a XL device, we have a 6.04 inch OLED 1080p Full HD display. Now on the smaller 3a device will be a 5.6 inch, but still the same 1080p resolution display. So in terms of brightness, the 3a XL is actually quite bright, matching that, almost that of the 3XL. The hue or the color temperature is a little bit warmer than that of the 3XL, as you can see here. But also, there's no notch on the 3a XL. The bezels are larger on this 3a XL as it is a more budget mid-range device on both left and right side of the display and also on the top and bottom. But the symmetry is there in terms of the bezel from top to bottom. Up top we have our front-facing speaker grill or earpiece and our front-facing camera at 8 megapixel resolution. So this earpiece actually acts as a dual-fire front-facing speaker. So we have our bottom-facing speaker and our top as our dual speakers there. So we can take a look at the size of these bezels on the side left and right. I wouldn't say that's necessarily a bad thing. You don't have to really worry about your palm mispressing on the screen or anything like that. But overall, the quality of the phone is actually quite nice, even though it is plastic. One thing you'll know right away is just how light the phone is in comparison to its metal and glass big brother, the 3XL. You can definitely tell night and day just how light it is. But that's actually also a nice thing. It kind of brings back memories of the Nexus 5X even, in terms of just how light the device was. It's very manageable in terms of your hand and using it. Your hand won't get tired of holding such a heavy device either. In terms of internal specs, we have a Snapdragon 670 processor with 4 gigs of internal RAM. There's either 32 or 64 gigs of internal storage, and like I mentioned, there's no expandable storage. That also aids in the price in terms of 32 or 64. The starting price of the 3A is rumored to be about $400. The 3A XL is rumored to be about $480. That's for 32 gig. Now 664 will increase, who knows the pricing difference for that. Inside the 3A XL, we have a 3700 milliamp hour battery. Now I used an app to check the internal specs of the device, which just for security purposes, I won't show the software information. 3700 milliamp hour battery confirmed inside the 3A XL. Tied with the Snapdragon 670 processor, that will result in really great battery life. Smaller performance chip with a great battery, lower resolution display. You're going to be able to get some really great screen on time and usability from day to day without having to worry about charging. Now charging, this does support power delivery 18 watt quick charge via USB-C, so that's great to see. The phone is quite snappy. I never have had any really slowdowns. Even if you take a look actually at the camera app, it loads faster than the 3XL here on the right. Opening the camera, we can take a look here. It takes just a second longer for the 3 to actually unlock that and open the camera and get it in focus real quick. So we take a look one more time. There you go. The fingerprint scanner actually even unlocks faster too. Granted, this is a freshly set up phone with not very many apps. As we can see, once again, it does beat out the 3XL, but the Snapdragon 670 processor is no slouch. It does come in benchmarks just under the 835 of yesteryear's Pixel, the 2XL, so it should do just fine for daily activities, some gaming, things like that. The 3A series will also actually have the squeeze function for Google Assistant, so that is brought over from the 2X and the 3 series. Also, you have other features such as the always listening for music, things like that. So we take a look at the display. We still have our options for colors to be boosted, adaptive, or natural. Now for the camera, which I think everyone is curious about, the 12 megapixel camera on the back does support night sight. So we have that capability. I'm gonna do a follow-up video on this in terms of showing some of the camera samples that I've been able to take with this, both on the front and the rear. Unfortunately, we don't get the wide angle front-facing camera like we do on the 3XL. So that's something, one of the cost savings that Google has done is just having one single front-facing camera instead, which is 8 megapixels, which does work with the portrait mode and night sight for the front-facing camera as well. So if we actually take a look at the speaker setup on this, because since it does have dual speakers, I'll go ahead and show you an audio sample of what that sounds like. So speakers actually sound quite great, seeing that this is a quote-unquote mid-range device. Definitely they're not quite as loud, I would say, as maybe the 3XL. They definitely sound quite adequate and loud, full of volume. It seems like that's definitely for the price point that this is going after. So the cameras on both the 3A, 3XL are going to be the same, 12 megapixels, 8 megapixel on the front. So it doesn't matter in terms of the larger or smaller 3A series, you're going to get the same camera setup. The 3A, the smaller brother of the 3A XL, is going to have a rumored 3,000 milliamp hour battery. Like I mentioned, this has a 3,700 milliamp hour, so you're going to get more battery life probably on the XL variant, but you are going to have a bigger screen, so it might be a wash. We'll have to wait and see till full reviews come out and things like that. Now, I'm not sure if the buttons on the 3A XL are plastic. I'm gonna guess they are, just because of this being a mid-range device. But I can say that the power button on the 3A XL feels much more sturdy, whereas on the 3, you can see like this power button kind of being very flimsy in terms of the top and the bottom. The 3A doesn't have that. The power button feels very strong and sturdy. It's clicky, buttons feel great, and tactile. The haptics on the 3A XL are actually really good, in my opinion. They feel short and strong, kind of almost similar to that of the 3 series. The haptic motor is a little loud. It might be just because that this is plastic, so there's more vibration, but you can hear that real quick right now. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with the haptic feedback that the 3A series offers. Definitely a lot more premium than a lot of other devices that are at this price point, 400, I would say maybe to 550. Definitely a lot better than some other phones that are out there. So in comparison, in terms of size between these two devices, here we have the 3XL and the 3A XL. They're basically the same in terms of height. In terms of thickness, they're pretty much the same as well. But in terms of width, I'm going to actually have to say that the 3A XL is slightly narrower than the 3XL. But it'd be interesting to see if cases actually are compatible with this. Even though there is a headphone jack, you might actually be able to maybe interchange cases. We'll have to see. I can maybe check that out in another video later on. If you guys have any questions on the 3A XL, let me know. I'll do my best to answer any of them. This is just a first impressions, first look at the 3A XL here. I'll do a follow-up video answering questions that you might have. So let me know down in the comments. Also check the Ask Me Anything Reddit thread. I'll leave that in the description. You can also ask questions there and see what others have asked. Something I will check and let you all know on is whether or not this has wireless charging like the 3XL. I don't think it does, because I was looking through settings. I didn't really see anything in that regard. Thank you all for watching. This was Chris taking a first look at the Google Pixel 3A XL. Until next time, I'll see you around.